Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we're at Sales 2.0 in San Francisco, and we are speaking with Jeff Seeley, who is the CEO of Karoo International, a wonderful training and development company. And we talk about the DNA of high performance. And we've talked about communication, we've talked about leadership. Now we're going to talk about problem solving. How do you define a problem?
Well, I think how we define a problem, or how I define a problem, is the ability to understand what is impacting someone else's business or organization. And what we found is over the years, is historically sales professionals have had solutions in search of problems. And as we look at the evolution of sales and where it's going to go, is the level of capability of a sales professional is going to go away from that, hey, I've got a bunch of solutions and please help me go find the problems, or having the customer call them and say, hey, Gerhard, we're having this issue, can you help us? To be more proactive in understanding the business at a level that's very different. Almost at truly that trusted advisor, right, consultative role, not right, consultative selling, but at a consultant level.
Right. A lot of companies use the term GSD, get as done. Meaning that people really jump in and solve problems. How do you get that mindset in an organization where everybody gets a lot done?
Well, it comes to, in the previous conversation we talked about leadership. Well, number one, it comes from leaders asking their sales teams, how often are customers bringing problems to you versus you're right, bringing, right, uncovering problems right, in your organization. Right. And secondly, how do you change the mindset of a sales professional to understand that their expertise is not their product or service, but what they do? Right. An example I used in the conversation here was as someone who's in packaging. No organizations, Amazon, who uses probably more packaging than anybody in the world right now, there's no one in Amazon who's really a packaging expert. They're more of a fulfillment type of expertise. Right. So they need packaging expertise. So if you're trying to sell Amazon, you can go in and try to sell them another brown box, or you can go in and try to understand the productivity, the customer experience, all those types of things that they're trying to create with that showing up. I think a Blue Apron the same way, when you look at what's the customer experience when you open a Blue Apron box of what's supposed to be fresh produce or fresh meats or fishes or spices or whatever. Right. And that becomes part of the experience. A great salesperson is going to know how to make that experience better for the customer's right, customer.
So what you're saying is that the mindset is really, in the ideal case, an asset. What if the mindset is negative? Then it's a liability.
It becomes a liability, and you've spoken about it, we've spoken about it previously. The number of salespeople with that kind of mindset and that kind of skill is going to continue to decrease. Right. So I think we're going to see two phenomenons happening over the next 5 to 10 years. I think the total number of salespeople is going to go down, but I think the total quality of salespeople is going to go dramatically up. And those who don't see that upward rise are going to be, right, for lack of a better term, become obsolete. Yeah. And this proactive problem-solving process is going to be part of what right, prevents that obsolescence from happening.
Let's talk a little bit about the challenge of what people call sales enablement and sales training. How do you see the future of that function in a company?
When I look at sales training, and it gets a lot of bad raps, it gets a lot of good raps in terms of what it can do. The reality is if you're going to learn any skill, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer, or want to be a golf professional or a golf player, you have to have a way to learn new things. And you have to have a leadership who encourages to do that. I think about I'm actually a cyclist, but I have a coach who cycles. Now I know how to ride a bike. I've known how to ride a bike since I was 8 years old. But I have a coach who teaches me how to make sure I'm doing the right workouts, I'm doing the right things, I'm training the right way, I'm riding the bike properly. All these setups are proper. That's what a great leader does with a salesperson, is making sure that they're getting that development skill set to do that and encouraging it to happen. If I just come in and give you a online program or give you a book to read, or send to the Selling Power sales enablement thing that we've used over the years, those have no impact unless somebody does something with them to right, reinforce it. Right. And that becomes the big challenge with forcing it to become part of the culture.
Right. So IBM states that in 5 years, every decisions the company companies make will be done by machines, by computers, by software. How do you see the role of the salesperson as an advisor to a company to help them make a decision?
Well, those machines are only going to make decisions with some inputs from humans. And certainly IBM is looking for a lot of ways to sell more Watsons, but the reality is human input into the sales process. People still ultimately like to buy from people that they want to work with, who are assets, who create strategic differences. Everything we're buying is not just a writing instrument. Different pens do different things. Not everything we do is just water. If that were the case, we wouldn't be drinking Evian or Voss or name one of the things. We'd all be drinking Ice Mountain at 5 cents a bottle or whatever it is. So it's those kinds of conversations that are still going to occur that are going to influence the inputs, which will then ultimately influence the outputs.
If anybody would like to know more about Jeff's company, go to Karooooo.com. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.